Hey guys, and welcome back to game number 2 between Jleli and Airheadlol. Like I said, if you haven't watched game 1, definitely go do that because we don't want any spoilers. Spoilers are stupid. But definitely go ahead and watch it. It was a very, very fun game to cast, actually. I enjoyed it a lot, and there's a lot of good things that can be taken away from the builds of both players in that game, so I would definitely suggest go and check it out. But right now, without any further ado, let's take you right into game number 2 between these two players, spawning up here on the top right side of MLG's Tal'Darim altar. We have our orange Zerg player, Jleli, who's trying to put away this series with a quick 2-0 victory. And spawning on the top left side of the map, we have his opponent spawning as the green Protoss, Airheadlol, who we will also call Airhead for the remainder of this match. Both of these players, like I said, coming from Week 1 wins. The loser of this game will actually go to play the winner of Why Am I Here and Death Waffles, which actually poses a potential rematch for either one of those players, depending upon how that match plays out. We do see both players going ahead and just continuing to play fairly standardly at this point, and I am just boxing to box. Sorry if it's annoying you guys. In these early stages of the game, there's not a whole lot going on. Both players are playing fairly standard. Ooh, are we going to see another Forge Fast expand from Airhead? Because that would be fantastic. And he is definitely using the Naniwa style of FFE or die try-in. And I mean, it is a valiant effort at that point to continue to try and do it. But we will have to see if it actually works out in the end. It does look like, though, Jleli is going to end up scouting the opposite direction unless that Overlord gets there first. He is going to scout cross position first, which he is going to find out his opponent's actually up in this top corner. Just keep in mind, though, that Tal'Darim is one of those big, huge, wide open maps. So spawning close by what is considered close by ground on the map is not necessarily as huge of a deal as if it was on, say, Metropolis. If you look at any of the games that were played last week, if they would have spawned close by ground to each other, that could have been kind of catastrophic for just about anybody. It looks like Airhead... Oh! He went Forge first. Jleli pulling the appropriate amount of probes. This is not one of those maps where you can hide the pylon right there and then cannon the back. That just doesn't happen. Maps like Metropolis, things like that, you can do that. But it does look like the pool for Jleli is out already. Cannon going down, and the Nexus going down for Airheadlol as well. Drones continuing to poke away. Now, the one thing that Airhead does accomplish in this case is he does come out ahead when it comes to total mining done. You look at the workers that were pulled to go kill that pylon. That was 6 workers that were not mining for Jleli, so he actually does take a slight economic advantage at that point. But we'll have to see if he does make out with it intact. Continuing to produce probes, all that fun stuff. Drone gets picked off by the photon cannon at the front. Again, I hope Airhead has no ambition, no goal in life to become Artosis, so I hope we do see another pylon go down right there at the front, because any appearance of the Artosis pylon, there we go. I think I was about to say, any appearance of the Artosis pylon is never a good one for anybody. I mean, occasionally it can lead to some hilarity, yes, I will say that, but I mean, in general, it's not something that we like to see. It does look like he actually did completely wall that off. If we look at... No, he did not. Okay, there's still a little path to get through there. Expansion now finished. He is going to go ahead and just continue production on each 3. I don't necessarily like this, and I said that last week as well. You look at the amount of money that's actually sitting in that queue, and it's about 150 minerals a piece, which doesn't seem intuitively like a lot, but that is a gateway. That is essentially a stalker. That's you know, it's extra stuff like that, stuff that you could be making instead of having those idle non-building probes, not idle non-working money sitting there for you. The expansion for there's a ping. Ping to what, Jleli? What did you want me to see here, pal? Apparently he wanted me to see his nice juicy probe saturation at his main. Because that is actually pretty sexy. Not even gonna lie. I will say it. It is sexy. You can call me a nerd. But as Husky StarCraft says, I'm nerdy and I know it. Cybercore now going down as well, continuing probe production. All the good, wonderful things that come along with StarCraft 2. Jleli, again, going to go ahead and take out these destructible rocks for the quick third. See another Roach Warren going down those rocks. Not even about half health yet. I was about to say they're at half health, but yeah, that's not half health. He is supply blocked, but has started Warp Gate. Huzzah, Warp Gate research. Woo! Speed is about a quarter of the way done for Jleli as well. I'm going to go ahead and move that spine crawler over here to the ramp to try and make it a little more difficult for run-bys and whatnot. Jleli also with 10 Zerglings in production. That's a lot of Zerglings. I wonder actually if he's going to go Ling Muta or Ling Roach Muta. It makes for an interesting playstyle because you have the heavy hitting capacity of a metric ton of Lings, a lot of Roaches, and the fist to the face, proverbially, of the Mutalisks, and the immobility of Protoss is again exploited at that point. I would like to see, however, the creep connection between these two bases. Now, whether that be by proxy hatch or just by creep tumor, one way or the other. I think actually it's going to come down to Jleli having another very hard time taking a third. These Lings are going to be able to run just right up to that third and not do a whole lot about it unless he does wall off, like right here. I've actually found that you can fit about four, maybe 5 gateways, depending upon how you play it in there. Oh, and there it is. There's the spire. So maybe some Mutalisk play. We'll have to see what else comes out. Sees that there is no third for Airhead. Again, I actually don't know why Airhead is getting speed here instead of blink. I think that might actually be a miscue. I'm not entirely sure. It's nice to have speed to be able to catch zealots and whatnot, but when you think about it, blink is a more versatile upgrade in the earlier stages of the game. If you're able to blink micro and things, you can get an extra few shots out of your stalkers. Stuff like this wouldn't be as hard to pick off, things like that. Just thinking of it from that aspect, it's a little more versatile at this point in the game than speed is. And oh, we do see another Dark Shrine going down. I don't know why though. He isn't as far behind as he was last game, but maybe he's thinking if he just starts out with it this time and goes with it, it might be okay. We're going to have to see. The supply difference right now is 66 of Airhead to 73 of Jleli. The expansion for Airhead as well, he needs to possibly transfer probes. No, it looks like he's okay. I was going to say, usually it's 2 rows and a little bit more. I usually like to go 2 rows and about 3 probes for saturation, and then, and again, we see the mass Q in action. That was, at most, that was 100 minerals that was sitting right here that he wasn't actually doing anything for him. But at this point, if we look up here at the money, I don't know if it was that big of an issue. He has the Facebook money going on, and it's now supply block. 14 mutas, oh my god. 14 Mutalisks on the way for Jleli as well. This is going to be kind of brutal for Airhead, just simply to say the least. One build I like to use is actually getting Hallucinate fairly early and then hallucinating Phoenixes. And that just gives you your opponent the impression that you have air units, you're willing to sacrifice them, but when in reality you're just sacrificing a hallucination. See the Muta pack coming out now. He is also researching level 1 air attacks for the Mutas. He has an infestation pit, so I'm assuming one way or another he will end up in Corruptors and or Broodlords at some point in the near future in this game. I'm going to go ahead and swing up here through the third since he did scout it with those lings. Oh no, this probe line is completely exposed completely to these mutas. And there we see it. To let the massacre begin, those Mutalisks are just going to start to work away. But he doesn't have that many Stalkers out. This Mutalisk ball is actually at half potency. Okay, and there's the extra warp in. And see, this is a spot where Blink would have been nice, because he could have blinked over and taken care of that. You just blink back the weakened ones, all of that fun stuff. But at this point, this Mutaball is actually going to be okay against a lot of this. The economy of Airhead is actually devastated at the moment. That's why, as I said earlier, I would have liked to have seen Blink, but I'm not going to complain about it because this is one of the lessons Protoss players learn, actually. Why he is running away with those mutas, I am not entirely sure. He probably could have taken that out fairly easily. Oh, he does have DTs in the main base for the counter-attacking action. They are, oh, look at the getting glitched up against there. That path is too narrow. And Jleli's like, hey, that's fine. I'll throw away some Zerglings, whatever. He did lose most of his drones here, though, unless he pulled them. I was not paying attention. And there's one back in his main. Oh, my God. Let's look at the workers loss tab. It's almost dead even. Oh, my God. There's a 2-worker difference. That is huge. Both of these players are theoretically back on stable ground now in terms of workers. We do see the army count, though, is in the favor of Jleli at this point. That's right, Protoss players. One behind Dark Shrine. We do see that's a lot of Stalkers, too, but still no Blink on the way, which is sad. Makes me a sad panda. We do see an OBS and an Immortal coming out now for our Protoss player, Airheadlol. Sorry I missed the DT attack down here, guys. That was my bad. Again, I'm a terrible caster. We'll just be okay with that. We do see the flock of Mutalisks coming back in to do the damage. I don't know what good this Observer is going to do here, though. Really can't see that much. Another gateway going down. Again, more DTs running in the front. I don't think they're going to get by, though. That is... No, they are not. They're going to... Oh, but they do. They slip by. The Mutalisk ball also being deterred a little bit up here. Mutalisks making their way for the main, the nice juicy main, to try and get rid of that Spire. I'm assuming is what... Yes, it is. Those DTs are going to go ahead and try and get rid of that Spire so that he cannot make any more air units now. Again, the Desperation DTs pay off slightly, but it also... Oh, no, he's going to get that Immortal gets picked off by the Mutalisk. That's a huge loss. Again, this is another time when Blink would be nice. It does look like that got picked off, though, at some point here. These Mutalisks are just being pesky. Now, granted, Jleli can't make any more right now, but the fact that they're even out on the field is a testament to how quickly it can happen if you have a set build order that you can transition well off of. And I feel like Jleli's build order at this point actually was just the superior build. He has a definite plan when he goes into games, and he's willing to deviate from that plan should everything fall apart in a lot of ways. And in some cases, not even fall apart, just when he decides he wants to transition. Otherwise, he can do so freely without ever really thinking about it. And the Mutalisks deciding to dart back out. The DT's coming up here for the third of Jleli. They are going to get poked to death by the Giraffes. And yes, they do go down. The Mutalisks, oh no, they're going to come up here and attack this third. What is Airhead going to do about this? Is he actually just going to try and base race this? It looks as though Jleli now losing Overlords, losing supply at this point. The Stalkers coming in and doing some massive damage, but these Mutalisks are going to come over here, and there's no cannons. Oh, but he is pulling back the Mutalisks, leaving one or two to do some of the damage, but ultimately pulling back everything to try and kill this army. And again, Jleli saying, okay, that's fine. I'll trade you expensive Stalkers for cheap Lings. And we do see a couple of DTs coming in here to start doing the damage to those Lings as well. but all of those stalkers are going to get picked off. And the flock of Mutalisks is back in the main base of Airhead. At this point, I don't think there's anything Airhead can do. He is pinned back into space. He cannot take a third at all. This is just terrible. And then Archon, I actually don't know if that Archon can get through back here. We see the Roach counterattack at the front. That is only 4 Roaches, though, and it does look like the Archon does get through, so that is going to be a huge help. But again, I think it is too little too late. We see no counterattacks coming out. And the GG from Airhead, LOL. Again, Jleli with a very, very solid play that can be transitioned into multiple things very, very well. We saw it there. We saw it in week 1. Hopefully we'll continue to see it there in the future as Jleli taking this game, getting one step closer to the finals matches. Again, my name is Evolution Gaming Woodhouse. Make sure you check out the rest of these VODs at youtube.com and then search MSU Hivemind.